glycerol, which, believe it or not, is the main ingredient in making soap. Various student organizations on campus, like the Caribbean Student Association, work hard to promote diversity on campus. Some people do not qualify to gain a free car from the workforce board, but they can still gain from the program. For those who still want to go to the game, there still is a chance to find someone willing to sell, but you'll probably have to pay more than $500 a ticket. The debate will take place tonight in Mississippi, after all. The debate over the Senate version of an economic stimulus package continues today in Washington. Usually, when people take a bite out of a burrito from Chipotle or a sandwich from Subway, they don't think about where the ingredients came from. Farm workers all across the state of Florida pick tomatoes that go into everyday foods, but the workers say they are not always treated fairly. Representatives from the Coalition of Immokalee Workers came to the University of Florida this past weekend to raise awareness.
Today in the United States, and especially here in the state of Florida, so many people are unaware of the human rights abuses that are going on in the fields, including cases of modern-day slavery.
The event was sponsored by Chispas, an organization that integrates Spanish speakers through advocacy.
It's very important. I mean, if you talk to people on campus, students, who've been here for quite a while, they probably have never heard of farm workers outside of even really about 35 minutes away from Gainesville.
The experience of being a farm worker were brought to life through testimonials.
It is important for the community to understand the work that goes into working with tomatoes, how we work.
Sylvia spoke about working 12-hour days of constantly bending down and carrying 32-pound buckets of tomatoes while earning just $50 a day. Her daughter also spoke about having to stay with farm owners when traveling along the East Coast.
Well, I thought it was kind of a wake-up call because, I knew that there were horrible working conditions, but I never really heard the opinion of somebody my age.
Through frequent but peaceful protests, the coalition has been successful in the past in securing agreements with fast food chains like Taco Bell and McDonald's to help bring about better conditions for farm workers. Florida produces more than 1 billion pounds of tomatoes a year, and except for a few experimental plots, all 39,000 acres are hand-picked. Francys Vallecillo, WUFT News. Local middle and high school students work on cars during the day as part of their internship program for technical training. They are learning and at the same time preparing a car to be given away to someone in the community.
It's a good win-win for me because also I'm learning a trade that can help me out in the long run, and also I'm helping other people feel good about getting other cars.
Dignity Project is a non-for-profit organization that works together with the Workforce Board. They provide cars for people in the community who are at risk of losing their jobs because of a lack of transportation. Although the local government helps with the program, it depends heavily on cars donated by the community.
The donation of those vehicles actually represents the fuel for our agency, because without those donated vehicles, we could never go out and buy a used vehicle to repair. We couldn't afford to do that.
In the past year, the program has experienced a decrease in car donations. This means fewer cars can be given away and fewer learning opportunities for students. One former student knows how much can be gained from this program.
I help these young guys, teach them the basic automotive, help them to learn to see if they're really going to want to stay with this or not. Makes me feel good, too, that I'm giving back what I've already received from it.
Francys Vallecillo, WUFT News. Florida highways are going to be very busy from now until after Thanksgiving. That is especially true for the area of Gainesville because of its demographics. University of Florida students travel in the state throughout the year, but the volume picks up at this time of the year.
Oh yeah, there's definitely more traffic. You have to kind of schedule like when you don't think as many people are going to be leaving, especially to come back to Gainesville.
I think most of the time you just not necessarily worry, but you're just careful because it is a long drive and people get tired. But for the most part, I've never had any problems. Traffic's okay. The only thing is rain.
In 2007, the 20 to 24 age group had the second highest rate of crash involvement, but the Florida Highway Patrol is trying to stay positive.
We're not really projecting anything at this point. We don't want to focus on the doom and gloom. What we want to focus on is that we're going to take a proactive stance.
In 2007, the state mileage death rate, or number of deaths per 100 million vehicle miles traveled, was 1.57. That was the lowest in state history, but some travelers are still cautious.
I have seen one accident that backed up the interstate about 20 miles. It was pretty bad, they said on the radio.
There are some tips that everyone should keep in mind before they hit the road.
Start your trip a little early. Anticipate that there could be heavy traffic. Know some alternate routes that you could take.
Francys WUFT News. Gator fans saw this one coming, a rainy day for the 85th Homecoming Parade. By 11 a.m., University Avenue was full of people sporting umbrellas, and the various floats were ready to go. This year, the parade had more participants than usual. It featured 156 floats ranging from Shands Healthcare to the Alachua County Heat Wave, which used recycled campaign materials to make its float.
The weather is actually not as bad as we had thought. You know, we've had parents calling all morning, is it still going on, and so forth. Say, yes, we're here, come on down. The kids knew it was going to rain, we're all prepared, and just looking forward to having a great day and saying thank you to the community.
Another eye-catching float was from the College of Engineering at the University of Florida. The club spent more than $2,000 and put 120 hours of labor into its float. Before the parade started, bands were practicing under shelters, and the Gator Band made one more concession to the rain.
We didn't wear our regular uniforms. We wore our warm-up outfits so that the regular uniforms didn't get wet.
Among those watching, one family drove from Atlanta to support more than just the football team.
Our son is the parade director this year, and so we came down to support him, and he's worked very hard on this, and I'm glad that the weather held up as it did, so we're very proud of him.
The rain kept stopping and starting, but one fan said he had planned to be there no matter what the weather.
I've been coming out since I was about 5 years old, so that's probably 37, 38 years. I think it's great. Looks like everybody's fired up, ready for homecoming.
Francys WUFT News.